Ever since the untimely demise of Marvel Heroes Omega, rest in peace, I've been trying to find a Marvel related game that's also got elements of strategy and role playing as well to really fill the void that game is left. And yes, I do cover and I do enjoy and play Marvel Strike Force and Marvel Ultimate Alliance free, but neither of those games have really managed to fill that void at all. Marvel Strike Force, with it being a mobile game, is really dominated by who's got the biggest wallet as opposed to who can actually implement the most time theory crafting. You then have Marvel Ultimate Alliance free, that is a game that's got a lot of potential, but the developers have been really quiet. I was going to say the last few months, the developers have been really quiet ever since the game came out. We've not actually heard anything from them at all, and it doesn't look like they're looking to really expand in that game now. The Avengers game, which was called Avengers Project for a very long time, it was announced probably around about 2 or so years ago, and this was one that I was really looking forward to. Didn't hear anything for a long time, and then a few months back we got the trailer, which did look a little bit underwhelming, to be honest, and I think a lot of people did feel that way. It was still a game that I was very much interested in, because if you follow the channel you know that I'm a Marvel guy, and you know I'm into my strategy as well, and the game did look to include that within it. So we actually got a trailer yesterday which has shown a lot more. It's shown details on costumes, on skill trees, on gear upgrades, how it's all going to work, and this has got me exceptionally excited. It looks like the perfect game that I've been looking for the last 2 years since Marvel Heroes shut down. So what we're going to do in this video is we're actually going to bring up the trailer. It's a 3-minute trailer. I'll quickly let that play out, and then once we've done that, I've done a breakdown of all the different sections of it and why this game has got me so excited. Now, if you have already watched the trailer, then I'll put a timestamp on screen now, and you can just jump to that so we then break the trailer down. But if you've not watched it, enjoy this, because this really is pretty awesome.
Marvel's Avengers is a third-person action-adventure game featuring an all-new, original story where you play as your favorite Avengers. The story starts on A-Day at the opening celebration of the Avengers West Coast headquarters in the reveal of the team's new Terrigen crystal reactor. But after being blamed for a disastrous explosion that leaves San Francisco in ruins, the Avengers are forced to disband due to public backlash and government pressure. In their absence, a new organization rises vowing to protect the world, Advanced Idea Mechanics, otherwise known as AIM. 5 years later, the world is a very different place. In their pursuit of a safer future through science, AIM has replaced superhumans with their advanced synthoid AI. But under the surface, the signs of a conspiracy against heroes begins to unfold. With all superheroes outlawed, an Avengers fangirl from New Jersey named Kamala Khan embarks on a quest to prove her hero's innocence and become who she was destined to be. Kamala plays an essential role as the catalyst to reassemble the team with her unique perspective and incredible powers. Only together can the Avengers overcome the dangers in this new world. You'll start by establishing a base of operations in a decommissioned helicarrier, which gets upgraded throughout the story. You can customize your heroes to play solo or assemble online with your friends, defending Earth from ever-escalating threats. Each of the heroes has tons of outfits, inspired by over 80 years of Marvel history, as well as original new ones. As you play, you'll earn and unlock gear. Equip different gear pieces to customize your playstyle and become even more powerful. Power up gear by unlocking perks, which will change the way you play the game. Unlock skills and abilities as you earn experience and build your heroes to fit your playstyle. Using the war table, you can launch into 2 different types of missions. Hero missions are the single-player campaign experiences showcasing specific heroes, and Warzone missions, which are played solo or online with up to a total of 4 players. All missions drive the narrative forward, and all of your heroes' progress is shared across the entire game. Reassemble the Avengers and rebuild the team to be Earth's mightiest heroes once again.
So there we go, pretty amazing, and for a short 3-minute trailer it actually packs an absolute load of information into it, especially when you slow it down, you stop on certain screens, you can see all the in-game menus, and it's going to give us a really good idea of how the game is going to play and the level of customization we'll have when it comes to building our heroes. And in regards to the heroes as well, they are going to be free. Marvel has said this is the type of game that they want players to play for years to come, so there's long-term plans, a lot more heroes, a lot more villains to come. The element of it that will be monetized from what we know is costumes, and it could potentially be some other areas as well, which we can talk about as we do go through this video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the trailer and break it all down, the points of importance and what we really learned, and again why I'm excited about what we have learned today. So let's jump in and see what we've got first. The first part of the trailer that really got the hype train in motion for me then was when we see Kamala Khan button heads with AIM. She leaves the city as a result of this, and then she goes out into the wilderness and she comes across that abandoned helicarrier you can see on screen at the moment. Now the trailer mentions the fact this will actually serve as your hub, and this is where you start all your missions. Also mentions the fact that you can upgrade this as you work your way through the story, so hopefully visually you'll see improvements to it, and you also see gameplay improvements that will help your characters as well. So straight away that was a nice start for me, and it again reminded me of Marvel Heroes with the hubs, but the difference in this being that you can actually upgrade the hubs as you play as well, so that's really pretty awesome. The next element that's got me really excited is the costumes, and it looks like this game will have them in abundance, and that's something that Ultimate Alliance 3 really is sorely lacking. Now in the trailer alone we've seen 5 different costumes for Iron Man. We could see the costumes had rarity. There was, for example, a rare costume, and then there was a legendary costume as well. We could see that one of the designs would indicate that Square Enix actually have creative license in regards to creating costumes for themselves that fit into the theme of the game, so that's really awesome. We'll get to hopefully see some pretty weird and wacky designs. Now with the costume as well, in previous videos and articles we've been told that they will be cosmetic only, so you won't be able to buy a costume and get power for your character, thankfully, and they'll be split into 2 categories, in that costumes you can earn in game cannot be bought from the store, and costumes you buy from the store cannot be earned in game. That does worry me a little bit, because I'm slightly concerned that all the best costumes will be put in the store and there'll be no way for players that aren't willing to spend money to actually unlock them, but time will tell with that. Now within this appearance tab as well, you can see you've got outfits at the top, but you've actually got emotes and nameplates as well, and the nameplates is something we can see when we do cover the next section, how they look like they'll be set up. But it's really nice that it looks like there's going to be a lot of options for customising your hero visually that won't affect the gameplay, but will hopefully provide a constant revenue source for the developers, so that if players want to spend money on customising their character they can do so. If they don't, they can just earn other costumes and emotes and nameplates in game, and hopefully the servers of the game will just keep running and we'll keep getting free content as a result of players that do choose to support it by buying cosmetics. So I do like that model there. Now let's check out the next section, it's got me excited. Next up, we managed to get an absolute ton of information on the gear that will be coming to the game, and you can actually see a whole lot from this one screen. Now if we run over it, up the top left you can see we've actually got our nameplates there, so that's one way you can customise your characters. We've then got 4 different stats available on Iron Man, so it's melee, range, defence and heroic, so it looks like you can build him to be a melee character or ranged, or even a mixture of 2. You've then got defence, you can go more heavy in if you're playing a tank style character, whether or not you can taunt or not I'm not quite sure. Heroic, I believe that's tied in with your special abilities. When we look at the gear that's available, you can see there's various different rarities. The one we're seeing is an uncommon green, but there's 4 different slots available for gear. Adds up to a total gear power, so that looks similar to the Destiny system. And also with this on the right hand side, you can see you get 2 slots for something known as artifacts as well, but I'm not quite sure what they are. We've not seen anything on them at this stage. Down the bottom left you can see various different currencies. Now on the gear it looks like you can equip, dismantle or unlock perks on it. This one has got all the perks unlocked already. but if you dismantle gear, I imagine that then will in turn add up to the currencies you see down the bottom, and it looks to be quite a lot. But in regards to the different affixes that are available on the gear, so it gives us an idea of the level of customization that will be available. This piece here, which is an uncommon piece, you've got Nightfire, so with this, chance on headshot to trigger an explosive AoE burst. So that's nice, it looks to be rewarding skillful play with your headshot on enemies. We then have a piece of epic gear, and this is actually branded, and you can see it's branded Stark Industries, so that's a nice little touch there. With this one, it's actually got two different perks available on it. So the first one is Nightfire, which is the chance on headshot to trigger an explosive AoE burst. It's also got Fletcher, so this one here, defeating enemies with critical ranged attacks grants a temporary damage buff, so that sounds pretty nice. We then have another uncommon piece. This one's the chest plate, but it's actually got a pretty nice sounding perk on it. So this one is pushback, so perfect parrying, so it looks like some kind of block, creates an AoE burst that pushes back nearby enemies and requires the ability to perfect parry. So I love the idea of having a melee Iron Man build. Hopefully maybe you'll get a Hulk Buster in time, and then if you block an enemy attack at the right time, you're creating an AoE. That really does sound pretty awesome. We have a rare piece this time. This one is Stark Industries once again. The perk on this one, another new one. This one is Brazen, so chance on taking damage to create an AoE burst that stuns enemies. Again, that can be pretty nice on a melee character if you've got lots of enemies around you. Final gear piece we have here is another epic one. This one is actually pin technology, so it's good to see a different one, and you can see up the top as well, it's actually telling you the difference in your defense and your heroic stat if you were actually to equip this, so you can see at a glance if it's worthwhile equipping a new piece. Perk wise, this has got two because it is an epic piece, and on this it's got white light, so enter low health to gain a health burst, so could be nice on melee once again. And then persistent, so chance on taking damage to gain a temporary defense buff. It seems like a lot of these buffs actually are all around a melee setup. We really need to get Hulk Buster actually with this. So that's the gear. It does look interesting, 4 different slots, plus you've got your artifact slots, and it looks like there's going to be lots of different perks as well, and I imagine the perks are going to be specific to characters the way they're actually set up. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. The next element we have is probably the one that's got me the most excited, because it looks like I can get back to proper guide making again. So if we check out this screen here, we can see that with Iron Man there's 4 different screens available for skills. So you've got primary, speciality skills, capability, and also utility. Within that there's 4 different trees as well, and there's quite a few different options within each of those trees. So you've got melee, you've got repulsor, you've got laser, and then you've got rocket as well. So it looks really awesome that you can specialise into the different builds you want, and with the different trees as well at the top there, such as capability and utility, it looks like you can actually choose to build your character to be more of a team player or more of a lone wolf, depending if you play in co-op or if you play solo. Now if you look at this particular skill here anyway, we can see up the top right you've got skill points. You'll be unlocking them as you level up, I imagine. This skill here is called Laser Sweep, and it's a heavy attack. So with this one, with the precision laser equipped, press triangle to activate a sweeping beam that cuts through enemies, inflicting stun and wound damage. And it looks like you can do a combo by tapping it, and then it breaks it down into the different affixes it's got. So the damage would be low, impact is low, the stun is high, so it looks to be like a crowd control skill potentially, and then the status damage it adds is wound. We need to find out more about that, but this first screen, definitely there's a whole lot going on here, and it looks like it's really going to add a huge amount of customization. So you've got the fact you can customize how your characters look, you can customize their gear, and you're going to be able to customize their skills as well. I'm absolutely in heaven here, but let's now check out the next skill that was shown off in the trailer. This next skill here then looks to be an upgrade on the previous one. So this is Laser Scythe, and it's an in-air heavy attack. So with this, with the precision laser equipped, press triangle while in air to pull enemies into the air before slamming them back down. And again, it looks like you can tap that to make a combo. You've got your damage, your impact, your stun, and then reactions. We've got different ones here. We've got launch, stagger, and slam. So can you actually use skills to work in a combo, for example, to launch an enemy up and then you can just slam them back down? It sounds like you potentially can, which is really pretty nice once again. The final skills screen we have here, then we're actually jumping over to the speciality tab. Now within this tab, again, there's 4 different trees. So we've got support, heroic ability, assault heroic ability, ultimate heroic ability, and then defense as well. Now when it breaks down the skill, it doesn't give you a cooldown time, so I'm wondering if you actually have to build up your heroics before you can fire them off, but the one it shows us, it appears to be under the ultimate heroic ability tree. This one here is smart rockets. So with this, you press both of the bumper buttons to fire a spread of seeking rockets that can target up to 5 enemies, and rockets inflict collateral damage and detonation. It breaks enemy block, so that's interesting, and it's got impact and reaction as well. So it looks like you can choose different specials depending on how you actually want to build your character. If you want to be a more support character, a more crowd control one, a more defensive one, or a more offensive orientated character. So once again, absolutely awesome. Now let's just finish up with the final section that was shown off in the trailer, and this is all around the campaign and how that looks to work. From what we've been told so far, then the campaign looks like it'll be split into story missions, and then you've also got additional missions you can go in and play as co-op as well to level up your characters and try and find new gear. Now with this map here, you can see various different locations. We've got our helicarrier, which is going to be our hub. We've then got American Southwest, and then we've got Northwest Wilderness. Now the one we're focusing on is American Southwest, and you can see it tells us that there are 5 missions available, and we can see more of them in just a moment. And it tells us the outpost is Ant Hill. Not quite sure what that is, but it looks like we're going to have a wide variety of locations, and the size of the locations from the videos we've seen as well look to be pretty expansive. So interesting how characters will get round them. Of course, the likes of Thor and Iron Man can fly, but how is Black Widow going to get round? Is she going to have a bike, for example? So that's something that really remains to be seen. But let's check out more details if we go further into the American Southwest region. When we get into this region, then you can see the mission that's highlighted as a campaign mission. This one's called Breakout. Looks to be maybe 18 power potentially. You need to go in and handle it. Difficulty says normal. Guaranteed reward is rare gear. You can get a performance bonus as well, so that's nice. You can go in and try and do the levels even better, and then you can see it looks like you can select the difficulty as well, so you can go back and replay old levels and bump up the difficulty and hopefully get some pretty nice gear from them. But that's a campaign mission. We also see some additional ones as well. So this particular mission here is a high value target mission, whatever that may mean. It may be one that you maybe want to go in with a full team of heroes. This one here again, guaranteed rewards, performance bonus, and you can choose the difficulty. This mission, I'm pretty certain, is the one that was actually shown at the end of the trailer when you can see Iron Man and Thor going up against a massive aim machine. It does appear to be that. That's everything I managed to actually get from the trailer, from watching it and breaking it down, and it has got me exceptionally excited for the game. And yes, this is my excited voice, it's just the drawback of being Scottish. This is how we sound when we are excited. Now let me know in the comments below if your hype levels for the game have went up after watching the trailer. Let me know what parts of the trailer you really enjoyed. For me, the costumes and the skills really were the highlight, and just to add as well that although I will be covering this game in future, no way am I abandoning or moving away from Strike Force or Ultimate Alliance, and as long as there's content in those games to actually cover, then I'll continue to cover them as well on this channel. Eventually we will be covering all 3 games really, and let me know if you want to see more news videos for Avengers Alliance as well, because there's a whole lot of news actually coming out for it on a frequent basis. And really, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.